Hello pilots and welcome back to another X-Wing flight video brought to you by Out of Art Gaming. As always, my name is Phil, and today we have a Separatist versus Scum list. The Scum has some really nice, tasty extended ships in there that we don't see very often, so it's always nice to see them back on the table. The mission for today is Salvage mission, and joining me for today we have...
Hi guys, it's Amy. It's great to be back.
Hey Amy, welcome back. And hiding in the corner we have...
It's Dan, new to X-Wing, so I'm eager to learn and eager to find out everything about it, really.
Well, welcome along, Dan. It's always great to have new players along, and again, it's great to obviously see a game in action with some ships you might not see, to be able to ask questions on what's going on. You never know, you might spot things that we don't, so that's always fun. But let's quickly run through those lists before they get too far into it. So on the left, we've got Scott. He is running a Separatist list. No proper swarm in there, but still a lot of ships. We've got Scott's favoured Sunfac in the Nantex with Marksmanship, Ensnare, Predator, and Targeted Computer. 2 MagnaGuard Protectors with Proton Cannons, Cluster Missiles, and Munitions Failsafe. And the guarded token from those is on Sunfac down there in the bottom corner. We've got a Vulture Droid in DFS 081 with the Energy Shell Charges, Munitions Failsafe, and Grappling Struts. We have a HMP, which is DGS 047, all the letters, all the numbers once again, multi-missile pods, Kalani, Munitions Failsafe, and Repulsorlift Stabilizers. And rounding the list off, we have the Iron Assembly, also with Energy Shell Charges, Munitions Failsafe, and the Grappling Struts. Oh, I need to take a deep breath after that one. And what have we got on the other side there? What's Wes flying first?
So Wes is pretty much flying a much shorter list than what Scott is. So he's got one of my favourite Scum ships, which is the Star Viper. So that's Dalen Oberos with Elusive and Prime Thrusters. 4 Lom in the Mist Hunter with Fire Control System 000, Hot Shot Tail Blasters. Mist Hunter title card Heavy Laser Cannons. We then have Koshka Frost in the Fire Spray with Latts Razzi, Seismic Charges, Contrabat Cybernetics, Marauder, and Veteran Tail Gunner. And then in the little mining guild, TIE Fighter is Lapin with Heavy Laser Cannons and Precision Iron Engines.
The fact that there is a TIE Fighter with a cannon always surprises me. Like, where can they fit it on that tiny ship? But it is always good to see. But yeah, so 2 quite different lists there. Obviously, the Separatist list, as we can already see, is sort of flying in 2 mini swarms there. The Vultures and the HMP all the way up the top there. And we've got quite an interesting Scum list that kind of wants to do all their own thing, really. I think the most interesting probably combination we've got in there is going to be Latts Razzi and 000. Obviously, Latts, while you defend, if the attacker is stressed, you may remove 1 stress token from the attacker to change one of your blank or focus dots to an evade, which is always fun. And 000, I never have much luck with them, but at the start of the engagement phase, you may choose 1 enemy ship range 0 to 1. If you do, you gain 1 calculator unless that ship chooses to gain a stress token. So quite a nice little combo between those 2 there. And the bendy barrel roll from Dalen Oberos there, already deciding he does not want a piece of those rogues and the Nantex down the bottom corner, and I don't blame him. They are very scary.
So wide. Do they actually go over the sides of the base?
They do just slightly go over the sides of the base. Not as bad as the Skurg used to in version 1 when that was on a small base.
That was hilarious.
Yeah, and a lot of those ships that were on small bases and went to medium were hilarious. K-Wings, Arcs, Skurg, The Mist Hunter was a bit closer to looking all right, but still was a bit strange to see it on a small base. But yeah, they are very wide ships, but they are very cool. And I like the fact that you get the 2 different paint jobs in the box. You get the sort of like your standard grey, and then you've got the Xanadu Blood variant with the green and stripes. Is really cool to see.
Yeah, they look quite cool.
And a cheeky little, I think that's the tractor boost from Sunfac there with his crazy tractoring abilities. I think I've only ever used the Nantex once. I'm not a huge fan of it, but I know that Scott absolutely loves his Nantex. Anytime we do any form of variation of a game, he's like, oh, can I bring the Nantex? Please, the Nantex.
It's on my list still to get. And I've heard, like, the reviews I've heard of the Nantex is, like, very 50-50. It's very Marmite-ish, where there's some people, like, absolutely hating it. Like, no, we don't understand it. Whereas other people, like Scott, absolutely love it. But I think it's one of them things where you just got to try it out and just see if it matches your flying style and matches anything in your list, just to see if you can fall in love with it.
Yes, it's a tricky ship to fly. I'm not a huge fan. I mean, its full hull has no shields. It's got a 3 dice bullseye and a 2 dice turret that you can't put the turret in the rear, but it's got like the pinpoint tractor array is just a really interesting mechanic. So you cannot rotate your turret to the rear arc. After you fully execute a maneuver, you may gain 1 tractor token to perform a rotate action. So that in itself is quite interesting. And then you've got obviously Ensnare, which we have on here, which allows you to transfer that tractor token to another ship at range 0 to 1 if it's in your turret arc. And then there's obviously Gravitic Deflection, which is another one that goes on there that also does crazy stuff with the tractor. So this ship really lives in that tractor world. Which is a cool mechanic. It's obviously it's got its own thing, which you want ships to feel unique and feel that if you're flying this ship over a different ship, that actually it does feel like it's doing something.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, how common is the tractor beam or the tractor mechanic on this ship compared to other ships? Is it unique? Is there one for each faction?
It's not unique. There are other ships that do like to play around with the tractor. You've got the space tug, the quadrijet, that like to play around with tractor. You can get a tractor beam as a cannon upgrade on your ship as well, which can be quite fun to play around with. Obviously, when you tractor an opponent, you reduce the number of evade dice that they're going to roll. You can also boost or barrel roll them to put them out of position. You can't do that onto obstacles or off the board anymore like you used to be able to, because that was quite fun. And your opponent then can also decide to rotate their ship 90 degrees. So you could tractor them out of position, but then they're able to rotate and then actually get themselves into a decent position, which I have. Scott actually did that back in his triple Nantex days. He tractor beam one of my B wings, and I went, okay, well I'll just rotate 90 degrees and take a shot at the side of you instead. But it's definitely a fun and interesting mechanic in the game, to be honest. Oh no!
Oh, that's flipped it, but only just.
Yeah. That is not ideal. Star Viper likes to stay super maneuverable, so... Does he take damage is the question. He does, unfortunately. That's not good. Well, there's the one shield that the Star Viper has. But it looks like Wes has decided to go all in on the Vultures and the HMP up the top. Obviously, the Vultures only got 3 health, so not a terrible idea. But that HMP could be quite devastating with its multi-missile pods.
Yeah, I've never flown against the HMP ship. I'm loving the formation at the top. It's like they're all in a lovely little line.
Yeah, it is really nice if you can fly in a formation and get it to work. It's incredibly satisfying, and also looks really cool. It's not easy to fly in formation when you've got different types of ship either, because the maneuvers you have might differ. So if we look at the Vulture droids, they've got 2 and 3 bags that are white and red, but the HMP has the 1 bag as well as the 2 and the 3. Fortunately, the 2 and the 3 are the same difficulty, so if they are flying together, it actually, if they're all doing 3s, they're all taking stresses. But when you've got different maneuvers, it can make it tricky. Does that rogue clear that there?
If it does, it's very close.
No, it really does
No.
not clear that. Oh, that's unfortunate. That tractor boost from Sunfac earlier, maybe not the right idea. Obviously, I know that MagnaGuard is protecting Sunfac, but careening into Sunfac is probably not the best way to protect him. No damage though, which is fortunate.
I mean, I think it's unlikely that anyone's going to be shooting at him this round anyway, but it's still a bit unfortunate of a move.
Yeah, no matter where Sunfac gets, no guns are pointed in that direction, so it is unlikely that he is going to be shot at. But has he got himself a nice position? It's going to be close if that's in range. So it rotated the turret to tractor himself. Now should definitely have range on to either Koshka or Dalen. It's as to whether it has bullseye.
Am I right in thinking now with turrets, to move the turret is an action, or do you automatically get to turn it each round?
So certain ships have abilities where they can change it, but generally it is an action. So with Sunfac, it's his built-in ability, the pinpoint tractor array, which allows him to, after he fully so he can rotate to the front or back. So after he fully executes a maneuver, he may gain 1 tractor token to perform the rotate. So he tracted himself forward, rotated, and then rotated the arc. And that is not ideal there for, that's David over us. So he is taking a hit crit there.
I think that's a wise move because the Star Vipers are so maneuverable.
They're also quite expensive. So if he takes the Star Viper down, Dalen Oberus is a lot of points. So he's only 5 points, but still, that's a quarter of the list down. And yeah, that Star Viper is so maneuverable. He can take a stress to turn 90 degrees after he's done his maneuver, and console fire was the crit he got, and it's just caused another damage. So ouch, Dalen is down to 1. That is extremely unfortunate. And not only that, just looking at it, Scott actually has a bit of an initiative advantage with his heavy hitters, with some fact being a 6 and those MagnaGuards being 4s. They are going to go before most of Wes's ships. With Dalen pointing the wrong way, but Wes can start the onslaught a little bit here into the Vultures. Looks like we've got Lapping going first, and he's going to be using his heavy laser cannon. And because the Vulture is stressed, its dice cannot be modified because of Lappin's ability, which is always nice. That's another way of 000 Latts Razzi triggering in there, so that's 3 hits. Let's see. Ooh, 2 going through.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah, and I believe that's on the iron assembler. Yep, it is. Not what Scott wants to see, but again, the Separatist ships are a lot cheaper. Oh, that's not good from Forlom. Just the 1, even with fire control. Has a calculator spend there though this time, because Lappin's ability only triggers for his attack. Well, actually, I think that might be from Koshka, sorry. Well, I think, Amy, you've played Separatists a fair bit, and you've come up against Scum before. Any pieces on the table which you would say that's what you'd want to get rid of first? Other than maybe that Star Viper, which I think is probably going to go down very quickly soon anyway.
It's difficult to say because I've not flown the Nantek ship before. I've not flown the gunships yet. It's been years since I've flown the Mist Hunter. Like, I'm talking 1.0, and even for then it was like for 2 games.
Iron Assembler is down.
For me personally, because when I play Separatists, I always play the Vulture droids quite a lot. I like swarming them, and I know how irritating they can be with the energy shell charges and the grappling struts on the asteroids. So for me personally, I want to take them out of the way first. And I know Dan is really looking forward to playing some Separatists at some point and borrowing a couple of my ships.
Oh yeah, the design, for purely aesthetics, they look so interesting to me. So that's what gets me interested in about them.
Well, I wonder if you'll still find them interesting when you've got 6 Vultures on the board and you're trying to figure out which one is which. But I've been playing Separatists a bit recently as well, and they've got some interesting designs in there. I'm really liking the Tri-Fighter and the HMP. Vultures can just be absolute cannon fodder, but at the same time just a right nuisance, especially if you've got 3 or 4 of them flying together. If you're coming up against multiple ships like that, you don't really want to just charge in with one thing. You need to get round them, and the Vulture's dial, you try and get around them and they just go, okay, well, I'll just do a 1k turn or a 2 Talon or just a 1 hard, so they can quickly turn around and get in on you. And the network calculations, just being able to share those calculates again, is is crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, but we do have an energy shell charge coming here.
Nice. So is that
That's a
2
big
crits
hit.
and a hit?
2 hits and a crit, and just the 1 evade. And that's straight into lapping. And the crit is structural damage on a TIE fighter. Not ideal. As TIE fighters do love their 3 evade dice, what makes them so hardy. But at the moment as well, points wise, Wes has 2 crates on his ships. Scott has not picked up a crate yet, so Wes has taken a little bit of a lead going into turn 3, 4 to 0 at the moment. Wes does, however, have 2 ships in dire straits, to be honest. 1 health on Lappin and 1 health on Dalen. That's not an ideal position to be, but we'll see what they can do. It's always quite interesting as well. Scott likes the Iron Assembler, and he kept saying how it's never been destroyed for him, and that it happened to be the first ship this game which went down. I was
Had to go down at some time.
Yeah. Well, the Iron Assembler is really good there to help sort of heal your ships up with its ability on there. After a friendly ship at range 0 to 1 skips its execute maneuver step, you may spend 1 charge. If you do, if there's an asteroid or debris cloud at range 0 of it, that ship may repair 1 damage. So Vulture Droid parks on an obstacle, stays where it is, spends a charge, and there we go, it's repairing itself, making it even more annoying. There's 3 charges on the Iron Assembler there as well, so it can do that 3 times. So if you get that just right with the obstacles, they're placed just right, you could potentially have 2 on either side that the Iron Assembler is repairing there. Oh, that's a beautiful swoop there. Just missing the obstacle as well. That is just great to see. After the couple of bumps we saw earlier, it's nice to see a maneuver expertly landed like that. Curious now to see where DFS ends up, because it looks like there could be a bit of a kill box there. Koshka moving up just a little bit to get guns on. Checking for a Kalani trigger to see if the green MagnaGuard can get a lock there. The tactical relays can be quite good. Let's have a quick look at Kalani's card. After an enemy ship executes a maneuver, if it is in the bullseye of a friendly ship range 0 to 3, you may spend 1 charge. If you do, that friendly ship acquires a lock on the enemy ship and gains 1 stress token. That is pretty cool. Gotta be wary though, if your ship is already stressed and you've dialed in a red maneuver, that could ruin your day a little bit. But luckily, it's a may, not a must. Full on, I believe, did the stop. Right, where is DFS ending up? How badly could this go for him?
Ooh.
That's not a nice spot to be in. Scott's kind of got to hope that Sunfac and the MagnaGuard get in quick and can cause some trouble. Ooh,
Sneaky.
nice little barrel roll. Looks like that's going to get out of arc of Orlon, but hard to tell from the angle. But I think that Koshka might still have arc. Let's have.
Does he get the back corner?
That's. I'm not gonna lie. I'm actually holding up a card up against the screen at the moment to see. I think he might just catch the back corner there. So, Dalen running away a little bit. Don't blame him. Repairing the console fire, I believe. Oh no, he can't. He's just on the sloop, so he can't repair the console fire. But he could do a prime thrusters. I'm not sure how good the prime thrusters would be, depending on which. He definitely wouldn't want to go up. Might want to come down.
Yeah, I would say down.
I forgot he could do it bendy as well, so potentially, actually, he could go up to the top and it might not be too bad.
So for Dan's benefit, I believe that the Star Vipers are actually the only ships that can do the bendy barrel rolls. Is that right?
As standard, yes. Literally trying to think of every ship now. So yeah, standardly, yes. They're the only one that can do the bendy barrel roll. But I'm wondering if... So I've got Echo in my head, which does the decloak and with the bank template, which is slightly different. And I know, obviously, the HMP and Glider and one of the Gauntlet pilots can do the side slip, which is kind of like a barrel roll. But yeah, it's only the Star Viper that can actually do the... Basically, this is the bank template to barrel roll. They have to use that as well. There's no options. So whilst that gives you so many crazy positions you can get into, it sometimes can actually be a little bit limiting. But you let the Star Viper off and it looks cool.
It does.
Captain Hark, by the way, was the Gauntlet pilot that can do a side slip, so that a Gauntlet can do a side slip with the one bank template, and that is the Empire version. And I've never done that move on the Gauntlet. I've done it on the HMP, but it is fun. So, Green Magna's put himself into a very strong position there. Sunfact coming in aggressive as well. Got to be careful with his positioning though, because that is... He might have to do his tractor to avoid that obstacle for next turn, because I don't think he can get away with that next turn. Maybe the one hard might miss that obstacle. He's got such a nice shot there. Range 1, Marksmanship, Predator. Oh, he's going for the tractor rotate.
Going for the tractor.
And actually doing the move as well. Okay. I may have been tempted to keep it there because he's got the one hard, which would obviously put him out of position for a turn. But the chance for a range one shot where he could throw that tractor across to Koshka, have Marksmanship and Predator, and whilst Koshka would be tracted, would roll an additional dice, it would have been a 5 dice shot there at range one. Now it's only going to be a 4 dice shot. I would have been very tempted to keep it as it was. Triple zero there, gaining 4 long with additional calculate. Right, see how many dice he rolls as to where it's going. So if it's 3 dice, it's 4 long. Oh, would have been the dice cam died at this point. So yeah, it looks like it was going into 4 long there. And 2 shields down. Not a bad return, I suppose. I still think I would have stayed there and taken a 5 dice shot at Koshka.
Yeah, I agree. I think I would have as well. I mean, Koshka's got a lot of health and shield to get through.
Yeah. Although saying that, he has triggered the crit onto 4 long, which does mean that the crate gets dropped. So that is actually stopping scoring points. But again, he could have done that on Koshka because it's Koshka and 4 long that had the crates. But Scott's the one that's flying the Dantec, so he's clearly got a plan. So. And it would appear I've not quite realised at this point whilst recording that the dice cam has failed there, but it looks like Den and Oberos is going into Sunfac. Oh, we've realised the dice cam is broken, so there we go. 2 hits and a crit onto Sunfac. And that's hit crit going in. Oh, not a great crit either. It's Hull Breach.
Oh,
Yeah,
bad
that's
luck.
always a fun crit to get.
I think that or direct hit. Yeah, no.
I mean, I've seen worse combinations. If anyone's curious, you can go back and watch our Patreon game from the beginning of the year, or even just the short, where managed to trigger 5 crits from 1 shot. Because of Hull Breach, it triggered into 3 direct hits back to back, which was hilarious, but also at the same time kind of gut-wrenching for my opponent. Oh, Proton Cannon. And that is from green. I would assume into Koshka, yeah. Oh, that's great. Hit triple crit. So that crate is 100% to be
Yikes.
dropped there. Because Koshka also only has 1 evade dice. Should only have 1 evade dice.
Does it go through the debris?
No, because it's bullseye. And also closest to closest would be would still be outside, but double blank there anyway, so that's 4 shields dropped. So it's shields down on Koshka. Oh, just think if so right now Scott is stopping Wes scoring points on those objectives, so that's good. That is a good play, but if those 2 damage had gone into Koshka first, and then all those crits, that could have been a very painful round for Koshka Frost there instead. Ooh, is that within range 3?
I think it's just out.
Yeah, it's very... Yeah, I think they've determined it just out, so... Moving on... So Forlom does not have Arc on DFS, which is a shame, because that would have been good. But he's going to go into the HMP instead. I think she's got so much health. It's an absolute tank for a small base ship. 8 health on there is crazy. Spending 1 calculate 4 hit crits. And getting 1 shield down. Looks like all going into the HMP whilst he has 3 shots there. Just the one. Handily evaded. Now, Koshka has Veteran Tail Gunner, which is going to make things fun.
Oh, yes, of course. That's potentially going into Sunfac. In fact, it will be going into Sunfac. Sunfac's the only one there.
Yeah, so 1 shot looks like... I missed who he pointed at, but I anticipate possibly the HMP. See what it does for Roger. HMP, so, oh, nice, 2 damage into the HMP. That shield's down. And Veteran Tail Gunner now means he gets a bonus shot out of the rear arc. And Koshka again plays it on the stress, but neither of those ships is stressed. But Hull Breach on Sunfac. Anything that goes through is crits here. So spending the focus, that's 4 hits. Oh, that's Sunfac deleted. That is big. That is very big there, and everything coming through is crits. That was a direct hit in there. So looks like Scott has cleared out a lot of his damage deck there, but ouch. Well, Sunfac is a big piece for Scott. Obviously, he loves him. I kind of think the MagnaGuard are going to be better at putting the damage in, though.
Yeah, especially with the Proton Cannons and the cluster missiles as well.
Yeah. Oh, now shields down on Forlom there. And DGS is spending a lot of charges on his multi-missile pod. So yeah, spending all of the charges so he can roll additional dice to go into Forlom. 1, 2, so 1 damage going into Forlom there. Now, up until Sunfac went down there from the Veteran Tail Gunner, I was looking at that thinking that was actually a pretty good turn for Scott. He stopped the point scoring from the objectives. He put a lot of hurt, like all shields are gone on Wes's side. But then Sunfac going down just changes the dynamic quite strongly there.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, looking at the points, going into turn 4, it's 1 point to Scott, 9 points to Wes. Not an insurmountable difference, because you look at Forlom and Koshka, there's a lot of points there. They go down, and suddenly the game is spinning in a completely different direction. Koshka is 7 points. So take out Koshka and keep that crate on the grey MagnaGuard, and then points are even again.
I did not realise that the HMPs could do Talon rolls.
That's a side slip.
Is it?
Yes, it's a side slip.
I have never seen that.
So the side slip is maneuver. Again, it's. I use the word unique to the HMP. It's not quite unique, but it's almost like it does a barrel roll with the hard template. So instead of doing it as a 3 turn, it does it as a 3 side slip, which can be an absolutely fantastic maneuver. You can kind of telegraph it a little bit because you have to flip your Repulsorlift Stabilizers for it, and it's like, well, if you do a turn, it's going to be a side slip, or are they just going to do a straight maneuver? So, but yeah, the side slip, it can be really good fun. It gets into some interesting positions. Again, kind of like the barrel rolls you get on the Star Viper, the decloaks you get on the Phantoms. Anything that adds that element of potential trickery does make it more interesting for your opponent. But Koshka looks like she wants a fight there.
Yeah, don't blame her.
Grabbing the objective, okay. Also, some fact going down as well. He was I6. Did that
it
just
fit? No, yeah,
wow.
It cleared it.
Wow. I mean, still not a great space to be sat right at range 1 of Forlom there.
Oh yeah, I mean, like, I would be scared right now, but even then, that was a very impressive move.
Yeah. And here comes Dalen.
Back in the game.
Licking his wounds a little bit. Did he just repair? I think he just repaired console fire there. So that he doesn't accidentally blow himself up. That's green, so he's only got 1 charge on his Proton Cannons at the moment. Probably not too bothered about that bump there. It keeps him in an alright position, I suppose. Slightly unfortunate position for Grey. It doesn't have its bullseye in, so won't be able to get the Proton Cannons off. Oh, actually, ooh. Depends if he's range 1. If he's range 1, he won't. It's 2 to 3. But Dalen gets the honours of taking a shot. Well, let's say that he did help take some fact down, so. Ooh, range 1 on DFS.
Can he do it?
Not like that, but well, 2 damage through though.
It's not
Taking it
bad.
down to 1. It's just how cheap those droids are though, which is what makes flying against droids a bit difficult, because it's only 2 points for DFS. The Iron Assembler also only 2 points. But if he manages to take it down, it is a gun off the table for next turn. It will still get to shoot because everything's shooting after the MagnaGuards is at the I3 step, but a gun off the board is a gun off the board. Right. That was Grey MagnaGuard. Getting a fuel leak on Koshka, and again dropping the crate. But there's a little bit far for the crate to be dropped. And Koshka just needs to survive this next shot from the other MagnaGuard to ensure that she gets to shoot. She needs to do some damage. Ideally, you want her to use a veteran tailgunner to see if he can take out DFS, because he's got the best shot there.
That would be good.
Okay, just 1 damage, so yeah.
Doable.
Oh, that's... Is that into Forlorn? Right, okay, so going the other way, so going Forlorn first. I suppose, yeah, say that. Well, Forlorn could go to the MagnaGuard, but because Forlorn's got such a good shot on DFS, it kind of makes sense just to do it. So 2 hits, then the calculate. And that is DFS gone.
It's now 4 ships against 2. Oh no, 3.
3. Yeah, the HMP is still there at the top. Although it can get quite confusing with the rows, because they do also fly for Scum as well, so... Right. A heavy laser cannon going into DGS. And then Koshka can do the double. Oh, for a focus there. Barrel rolled for the shot, but didn't get the focus, unfortunately. Right, just putting the obstacles back where they should be. So when a ship drops an obstacle, if it's caused by crit damage being suffered, the attacking player can put it at range 0 to 1 of the ship that was carrying it. So where it was originally placed down was outside of that. So let's put that back into where it should be. And obviously you can drop a crate at the start of the end phase before scoring. You can drop the crate if you think, actually, I really would like to do a barrel roll or boost next turn. Oh, 2 damage into Grey. And one of those is a crit as well, so dropping that crate. Now again, it's also worth pointing out is you don't have to suffer a critical damage, i.e. a face-up damage card. It's just if you have an uncancelled crit result when being attacked, or when having to roll for damage, that you do lose the trait then. Oh, that's not a great rear shot there, just the one. Looks like a crit again though, so if it's not evaded, yeah, it's evaded. He's all right there. Now, does DGS try and take out Lappin there? Oh, sorry, DFS has to shoot first before it goes off. Oh, gets the 2 damage in onto Koshka. Although Koshka does get her reroll, but still 2 damage going through.
Yeah.
Latts Razzi turning 1 into an evade. Okay, so still painful. Fuel leak triggered another one, and then got another fuel leak on there.
It's not fuel.
Yeah. Wes is hoping this match finishes quite quickly because he needs to get to the petrol station. Or sorry, the Tiabana gas reserve.
It's reminded me of that episode in Rebels where Zeb, Chopper, and Ezra do the diagnostics on the Sheathipede. Was it the Sheathipede? No, the Phantom at that point. Phantom 1.
Yeah.
And they lost all of that fuel.
Stranded, yeah.
How Sabine gets stranded.
It's been so long since I've seen Rebels.
So just for me, the DFS obviously was destroyed in that, but was able to shoot afterwards, or after it was taken off the board. I assume that was due to munitions failsafe. Is that right?
No, so it's due to the initiative step. So DFS is an initiative 3 ship and was killed within the initiative 3 step. So if the ships have the same initiative and they kill each other, the other one still gets to shoot because they all shoot at the same time, as it were. So obviously,
what these numbers are here.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if
sense.
if it was Dalen Oberos that had killed DFS, because Dalen's a 4, DFS would not have been able to shoot. But because it was Forlom that killed him, Forlom is an initiative 3, DFS is initiative 3. That way they can still shoot. So you can actually get mutual destruction with ships like that. So
ships of equal value get a chance to both fire. Yeah.
Yes, they'll still always get a chance to shoot.
Yeah, makes sense.
And also, interestingly, doesn't come up very often. If, say, Forlom and Koshka only had DFS as a target and Forlom had taken DFS out, DFS would still get to shoot. It's still worth Koshka taking the shot at DFS because it could trigger a weapons failure, meaning it is 1 less dice that DFS would be shooting. So it is always worth still shooting. If you've got no other shots, still shoot the dead ship, because you might actually make its return shot worse. Really random scenario that may occur in, but it's definitely something worth thinking about. But right now, going into turn 5, 2 points for Scott, 11 points for Wes. It's very tough at the moment. It doesn't look good for Scott, but again, all of Wes's ships are absolutely knackered right now. Dalen, Forlom, and Lapin are all on 1 point. Koshka is on 2. The MagnaGuard will shoot before any of them. So the MagnaGuard could potentially be causing some serious pain there. Koshka looks like getting out of dodge there. Hoping that that Seismic Charge is going to have the range to catch wherever those MagnaGuard end up. So yeah, the thing for it here is obviously Scott has lost 3 ships, which that's 9 points worth of ships he's lost so far. But there is so much potential, so many potential points for Scott to pick up right now. 2 health away from 7 points for Koshka, 5 points each for Dalen and Forlom with 1 health apiece, and 3 points for Lapin. So depending on where his ships end up, it can be done. And right there, Green has a lovely shot onto Dalen. So Green MagnaGuard has Dalen covered. HMP has Forlom covered. Interesting to see where Grey goes. Also, Green also has Lapping covered as well, so and the only crate on the table at the moment is the HMP. So there's not been a lot of objective point scoring here. I think there's about 4 points total on objectives. Have a quick look. Yeah, Sunfac, DFS, Line Assembler, 9 points total. So yeah, 2 points of objectives for Wes so far. The only points that Scott scored is the objectives, so majority of the points scoring in this game has been kills. I think just a debate on what action to take here. Ooh, calculate to boost.
Interesting.
Okay. So maybe Green is deciding that Lapin is the target of opportunity. Where is Grey going? Okay.
Oh, towards Forlom. Okay.
Grey takes Forlom. Green takes Lapin. HMP with this 180 arc tries to take on Dalen.
Be interesting.
Also at the same time, the HMP should Grey fail the shot, can also have a chance at taking on Forlom. So he's got fairly good coverage there. But I think Grey is outside of range 1 and has Proton Cannons fully locked and loaded, so I don't anticipate Forlom living much longer.
No, I don't, fortunately. I mean, especially when he's only got like 1 health left, and same for Lapin as well.
Okay, foregoing, deciding definitely don't want protons and go for that range 1 instead.
Okay.
Okay, I thought he had range 2. Oh, perfect there from... Perfect boost there from the MagnaGuard, blocking Dalen. Not taking... Right. Seismic Charge goes off and catches grey Magna but not green. I still think I would have taken the stressful focus with Dalen there. Oh, that's gonna be fall on down because he's only got 1 evade. Now this is obviously going to be the last round we're going to get for this video because it was getting late on the night when we were playing, so... But that is Forlom down. And again, as we were saying last round, for the benefit of Dan and any of our newer players, because Forlom is I3 and the MagnaGuard is I4, Forlom will just be removed from the table and take no further part in any of the action. But that is a big 5 points there for Scott. So Grey has done his job. Now, can Green do his job? Oh, it's 2. This is possible. Nope, that's lapping down. So Green has done his job. So now it's 10 to 11. Again, I4 versus I3. Lappin does not get to shoot. Dalen is going into the HMP, hoping for a Hail Mary. Oh, he could do it. That is 3 hits and the crit. 1 fail. Gets the evade. So 2 hits and a crit. A direct hit.
Finish
a direct hit here would actually win the game for Wes. And the crit is... Oh, it looks like a damaged engine from here. Yeah, damaged engine. Oh, no. The crate does drop, though, so no scoring on the crate. But Dalen Oberus now has to try... Oh, unfortunately, Koshka doesn't have the range 3. Oh, that was so close. That would have genuinely won the game for Wes there, because Scott wouldn't have been able to take out Dalen Oberus. Solitary 1. Get to reroll though because of the stress. With the Latts Razzi. Okay, 2 hits in total onto the grey MagnaGuard. Not going to be enough to take it out, but damage is damage. So the second reroll that came for the Marauder card, by the way. So while you perform a primary rear arc attack, you may reroll 1 attack die. So Latts Razzi with the stress, Marauder with the second reroll. HMP versus Dalen Oberus. There is a hit crit. 3 evades. Oh, only gets 1.
Yikes.
And this is where he should have taken the stressful focus earlier, because that would have saved him. Oh, elusive. No.
Ah.
Oh, Dalen Oberus goes down. The stressful focus would have saved him, but you know what? Scott persevered really well there. It was... He lost a few ships early on, but it didn't stop him, and he did well. And it ends 15 points to 12 in Scott's favour, when at the start of the turn it was 2 to 11. So very well done, Scott, there for bringing that back. But still, quite well flown there from Wes. I really enjoyed watching that Scum ship, those Scum ships on the table, because we don't see them all that often.
No, especially with things like the Mist Hunter. Yeah, it was good to see it again.
Yeah, Mist Hunter, bring it back in standard. We want it in standard. But guys, I hope that both of you enjoyed that, and Dan, I hope that you actually got a lot out of that and learned some things for when you get some more ships on the board, maybe some things you weren't aware of that might help you going forward.
Yeah, no, it was really interesting to see how obviously there was 2 unique lists there, and I could understand, you know, you had Scott with a larger force attempting to swarm and go through the flanks of Wes's ships there. Wes able to, at the start of the match, sort of power through, but then just running out of steam towards the end. So it was really interesting to see, and yeah.
Definitely.
I think I picked up a few things there.
In other words, many different ways to try and beat me and my triple defenders.
That's it. We can only hope.
Absolutely.
But could Dan take down the Quinterceptors? That is the main thing.
That's a tough one. You'll have to let us know.
Well,
But yeah, no, thanks for joining us, guys. And in the meantime, everybody, thank you all so much for watching. Do hope you enjoyed that video. Don't forget, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we will see you next time.